8 years ago I had to remove the old chimney of our house. Now it's time to install a new one for the new wood stove that I want to build now. The roof looks old, but in fact it's completely renewed. It's no good feeling to make a hole into this new structure, but I have no choice. The new chimney is made of a light and fireproof material. The inner tube is stainless steel. Then I had to make everything watertight again. A tedious job that requires a lot of sheet metal. The chimney goes down about 6 meters, beginning directly beneath the wood stove. The cast iron wood stove that is already put in place here is meant to be encased with brick walls and tiles. The nice thing about these traditional wood stoves, or Kachelofen, is that there are so many possible variations. Designing it can be an interesting creative challenge. The only limitations are the laws of physics and, of course, some legal restrictions. I didn't draw a plan, but let the walls grow in an intuitive way. I made benches on both sides that will be warm and cozy places for all family members and the cat. The clay tiles that I used for topping the benches were old recycled material. The whole brickwork was made from reused bricks. On top of the wood stove I left an opening. I had the idea that it would look nice if I put a cast metal top part above the brick part of the encasement. Kind of a traditional design. But how to begin? Some sand to protect the wooden floor in the workshop seemed a good idea for starting a foundry. I improvised a foundry with mineral wool in a sheet metal box. I made an inner wall from clay reinforced by some wire. 2 propane torches go in from opposite sides at the bottom. I needed a crucible to hold 3 liters of aluminium. An old oxygen cylinder seemed perfect. Then I had to make the patterns. Here the profile that will form the cornice above rectangular cast metal plates. The pattern, of course, has to be slightly tapered at the sides. I varnished it to give it a smooth surface, then I put it into a frame to make the mold. It was the first time that I did this with sand, so I made some beginner's mistakes. But I was relying on the fact that ancient metal casting wasn't always perfect either. profiles turned out nicely. I cut 45 degrees angles at every end of them so that they would fit together as a perfect square. My kids then gave me the idea how to make the patterns for the 4 rectangular plates by using clay. That was easy to work with, but I didn't expect it to be suitable for compacting the sand onto it. So I decided to duplicate it, making a flexible negative form first and then pouring a substance called art stone into it. This casting process wasn't easy at all, and my workshop wasn't the ideal place. When the crucible broke unexpectedly and the hot aluminum started to burn through my wooden floor, or when the smoke was coming thickly out of my windows, scaring my neighbors, I decided not to do this in here next time. Now let's put everything together. I made some frame parts to hold the cast metal plates in place. I just installed them loosely so that they can expand or shrink. The most difficult part was to put the cornice on. The 4 parts were screwed under a sheet metal plate, and the whole thing weighed about 80 kilograms. Then came some finishing work with black woodstove paint for the metal parts and whitewash for the brick wall parts. Finally ready to start a fire.